First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, thanks for joining us. We are live streaming on our apps, on our website, and of course on social media. So lots of places to find us. If you're on one of those, it's your first time watching, know that you have those other options as well to live stream everything that we have here and watch the interviews and the segments afterward. Right now, though, we are talking about a movie, and that movie is Wish from Disney. It's coming out on November 22nd, and I had the opportunity to speak to Alan Tudyk. I was pretty excited that Alan Tudyk was going to be available to talk to. And now, if you hear that name and you're like, I know that name, but I'm not sure who that is, just Google. You will know exactly, because everybody has a movie or a television show that they love that had Alan Tudyk in it. I mean, he has been in so many things. So I got to talk to him about his role in this movie. He plays a goat named Valentino. And we talked about that. We talked about just, the strike ending, talked about his roles, and I did get in one question at the end that I know probably at least some people were wanting to find out about one of his other roles. So we got to do that. It's a short amount of time when they, this is behind the scenes. When there's media tours like this, it's not a lot of time that you get to talk to somebody. So we talk about the movie, we talk about those other things, but let's go ahead and play it right now for you. Here it is, Alan Tudyk on Fox 12 Now. Alan, first off, really great to have you on here. And I have to ask, how does it feel now that the writer's strike is over and you're back at work? What's that feeling like?
It's great. I'm really happy I can come and talk to you about this film. That was one of the things that we couldn't do, was like say, hey, come check out this thing we made. We made this thing, and I'm hopeful people get a chance to see it.
Right. I mean, I can only imagine how much time goes into making a movie like this, like Wish, and then now you finally get to have it out there for people. But a production question for you. So I'm wondering, when it comes to voicing animation, how much time goes into that? Are you in a room with other people? What's the process like that, compared to some of your regular roles?
The preparation is minimal. So for Valentino, it was me coming into the studio and going in just with the directors and a little animation of Valentino hopping around. And they said, okay, what's his voice? That was it. I had looked at some goats online, but that was about it at that point. And we played around with some higher voices, and his name is Valentino, so maybe he has he's a high. Nothing was really, didn't really seem to make sense. And then I said, well, what if we just do the total reverse? He's such a cute little goat with pajamas on, if he talks like this. And even that line, who knew my voice would be this low, that was in the moment of me discovering the voice, like, oh, who knew his voice would be this low? Because we had just found his voice as this low register, very confident, gung-ho little goat.
That is fascinating. I had no idea that you actually create the voice for those characters. I kind of figured that was something that they would tell you what to do. Is that typical of the other animated films that you work on?
For Disney movies, it's been different every time. The first one I did with them was Wreck-It Ralph, and they said we'd like Ed Wynn, the old vaudevillian actor who did a lot of Disney movies, a voice match similar to his. So it was, he talks like this. So that was, and he became, he was King Candy, and that was him. And then it was similar for Frozen for the Duke of Weselton, where they just showed me some pictures of him, and I was like, oh, he's a little old man, but he was also royalty. And so he came, and he was a bit of a fool, so that's how his voice came along. And then Big Hero 6, he was a very confident guy. He was a business guy, Alistair Cray. And he was always sort of, he was put together, so his voice was closer to my voice. And they were all are different. Hey Hey was just, it was just sort of, he's going to sound like chickens. He walks along, he falls in the water, he comes out, it's like that. Just sort of play along. Yes, Valentino is, I use that voice a lot in my daily life. And after I saw the movie, I was like, oh, that's Valentino's. I hadn't even put it together that I do Valentino a lot. So I guess I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to maybe pull back on that. Leave him over there and just live here with whatever this is.
So for Wish, let everybody know, what is it that you're most excited for people to see when they come out to see it?
It's a musical comedy, which I love musical comedies. And it's also an original musical, which original story, original musical. So many of the musicals and stories that we see nowadays come from different places. You know, it's a spin-off of a different thing or a sequel. This is a brand new idea, and I want people to come see it because it's fun and it's funny, but it's about wishing on a star, which goes hand in hand with hope. You can't avoid the feeling of hope because it's something you did as a child and believed, that if you wished upon a star, things could come true. And I felt at the ending of this movie that it could still work, that if we believe together, we can make big things happen. It's a really good message.
I think that's something that we could all use a little bit of right now.
Yes, exactly. So I hope people check it out and take the ride. It's fun.
Great. And I want to remind everybody, too, that Wish is going to be out for Thanksgiving. You're going to be able to watch it. We've got a lot of details for you on that. But I have one other question that we have just enough time. I'm hoping that you can answer this for me. I got to go to Firefly. And, with that character, that iconic character that you had, was that something that you going into it and performing in it, that you really felt like this was going to resonate as much as it did with so many fans?
No.
That's a fair answer.
Absolutely not. We got canceled after 14 episodes. They didn't like us. But that's all on the fans, picking it up and lifting it up and hey, that is a wish come true right there. Look at that. See how I pulled that back?
You tied it right back in. That was genius.
And unlike Wash, only in theaters, Wish, November 22nd, you can still see this. It's still coming out.
Alan, thank you so much. I know that's our time. I appreciate you very much and all that you do and taking some time to talk to me today. And thanks and congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, there we go. So that was, again, Alan Tudyk here for Fox 12 now. So those media things, I'm just going to give you the behind the scenes part of it. So we can't actually see each other when that was going on. There's a little bit of the magic behind it. So, but he was great. And again, Wish is out. And there's actually the soundtrack is out today, and there's a special early access available for November 18th. So you definitely want to check those out too if you were interested in Wish. Huge thanks to Alan Tudyk for being here on the show. All right, we have more coming up here for Fox 12 now. It is Friday, November 17th. We already had the Grappler on. We had Alan Tudyk. Why not weather? That makes perfect sense, right? So we're going to do that. We've got coming up at 2 p.m. the Fox 12 Weather Podcast Video Edition, and they are all going to be on here. We'll be live streaming that, so whatever platform you're on, come right back at 2 p.m. We'll have that for you, but we'll sign off right now, reset, come back with that. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.